Morning marijuana motivation time. Let's see who gets into it, shall we? Let's do it. Go live at the same time. Ready? Let's get it. Boom, baby, boom! Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marquis Saint, and this is your morning motivation. We are going to talk about life this morning and how precious it is. You are alive. You are alive, and you are on my live. Both of us at the same time. We swag bags, me, YouTube. We're gonna get this going at the same time, so I don't have to repeat myself. I got live on YouTube. We got live in our lives, and we need to start protecting life, and that's what we're gonna talk about this morning. Marijuana motivation is just the protection of life and how important it is that we reach, preach, and teach to each other. I'm trying to get this at the same time. Hold on a second. Let's get this show going. Unfortunately, this morning I have to talk about a tough subject because the community lost a friend. You know, our community lost someone, and it's partially our responsibility to check in on people in general, not these people, everyone, checking in on everyone. And this morning, we're going to talk about, you know, taking lives. And that's what I called this morning's motivation this morning, is talking about this ability for people just to take life for granted. And I think we have forgotten just how hard it is to get to life in the first place. I mean, literally everything that your parents have ever done, every animal and plant on this planet is sacrificing life. Go ahead, man. Give me that energy. We need that energy this morning. We need that weed club energy. We're going to get into it and talk about it and be about it, and talk about just how hard it is to stay straight in our minds, and just how important it is to have mental health. And a lot of us, every one of us has a brain, right? We all have a mental capacity. We all have a perspective. We all have a personality. And as I've been talking about it all week long in super depth, these habits turn into us. The habit. My poor friend, I don't know what was going on with his head yesterday, but this sucks, man. It sucks so bad because Joey was a cool kid, man. I don't even want to say the word was anymore. But for someone that I liked and was cool to the community, it's a difficult subject. It's really, oh my God, that smells so good. It's a really difficult subject because all of us are usually in our heads and we think that someone else is going to come save us, or we're so deep that we don't want to put it on anyone else. We don't want to call anyone. Then everybody's posting, I'm so lonely. There's no one to talk to. And that's where Saintsgiving stepping up. I'm sick of losing friends. I'm sick of losing lives, whether it be my own child or my own friends or my friends taking their lives. It's going to be a tough morning marijuana motivation. Let's get it in. I need the tears. I need the tears. I need to let it go. That's one of the best parts of my growth, is it seeps out of me through tear form and grows me. And I wish, I'd be doing this work and I'd be doing the morning marijuana motivation. I'll be going live and reach, preach, and teaching to people about life, and how important it is to get our minds right. It starts in the morning, because then by the time it's nighttime, which is most of the time where suicide happens, we're already involved with the day. We're already in our heads, in our own way, came up with our own patterns, and that's when it starts to stack everything. It starts stacking everything. Every time you've ever gotten to a fight with someone, everyone you don't get along with, the things that aren't working in our lives, that's how it works. That's how suicide affects the brain. And I'm not sure what was going on with my friend or the other friend. Rest in peace, Bryce motherfucking Hanson. I'm not sure. I know it almost happened to me, guys. Let's talk about it. All of us want to be like, oh no, call me. I'm like, who was I going to call and tell that I lost a child? An unwanted abortion killed my baby, and I felt worthless. I felt worse than worthless. And you guys know how hard I go in the paint every morning doing the morning marijuana motivation, reach, preaching, teaching the people, getting that information out there because this is that important. I said I wouldn't lose anybody again. You know, after Bryce's death, he was tangled up with this woman and she was fucking with him. And, next thing I know, he's shooting himself in the heart. This is the second time I've had a friend shoot himself in the heart, Rashawn, when we were what? That was year 2000 back in the day, but it happened. And he was with his girlfriend and seemed like this guy. And it's too much. It's too much death. Too much shooting. Like people shooting children in America. Like how fucked up is that? I don't know. I don't know if China is suppressing it or, 4 times the population, and yet we don't see that shit on their news, We don't see this shit in Japan. We don't see this shit in Australia. We just don't see this shit. And like I keep talking about it, and you can see a couple episodes ago, but like I was telling my friend, he's from Italy. And he had to walk through Echo Park, eh? And everybody knows Echo Park because it's dangerous. And what's weird is that we've gotten so used to the violence. We gotten so used to people killing themselves, having abortions, just disrespecting life in general. And that's why I had to have this conversation this morning. We just keep taking lives as if life's just going to keep happening. Give me that motherfucking energy, dude. Give me that motherfucking life energy, bro. Give it to me. Give it back to each other. This life is so fucking difficult. The stack, as I call it, when we're trying to speak in public, we would say stack. I'm so emotional that I want to say something, but I don't want to interrupt you. I'm going to stack my thoughts. I'm going to say stack, and then I'll be the next one to speak. We used to do this over at the No GMO rally. And to stack one's thoughts properly, almost like packing your room or putting stuff in storage, it has a place, And not to say to put it in the closet. That's not the place. But there has to be more places for us to have these conversations. I'm not always going live, and I'm not always the solution. And Saintsgiving might not be either. Putting that on the app was the whole point. Was just like, yo, you're gonna need to talk to somebody. And for all the saints out there that have survived, okay, for all the saints out there that have survived their lives to reach back and help others, you're a saint. It's that simple. If you haven't killed yourself, and the things that you think would have killed you haven't killed you, right? It's only made you stronger, and you're probably the best person to talk to for the next person that feels weak. That's just how I feel. I would stop on the corner store and ask a stranger for directions, right? Why can't I ask a strong human being for mental directions? Like, how'd you get out? Let's talk about it. What ended up happening to me when I committed suicide? They're like, what? You committed suicide, Saint? I did. I did try to commit suicide. I was very upset. Right? Obviously, that's what happens when you're on suicide. Shout out to Stacy. I know we don't get along, but her daughter had committed suicide, and she started a suicide prevention thing that was really cool. And I shout out to her. We don't talk no more. She's an angry mom. That got weird, but I still don't want anybody to go through. Really, if you really healed, you know what I mean. You don't want to see the loss of life. You don't want to see empty baby strollers, because that's what it's all about, dude. It's all about life. We got our lives. It's a miracle that we got our lives. You know how many stillborn babies are out there? Do you know how many people are committing suicide out there? Did you know that men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women? It's crazy, but it's true. We get in our heads, and we're like, we can't do it no more. I'm tapped out. I can't do it no more. It's full. I'm full here, and we don't have any systems for full up here. Like if your phone, right, takes too many photos or videos, it's gonna tell you it's full. It's gonna tell you it's not taking any more photos, and it starts functioning weird. I know I'm not the only one. And that's what we do. We start functioning weird when we don't have our mental health. When we haven't eaten, right? This is the halt system. This is to halt the killing. Halt if you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. You need to halt yourself. You actually have to put the brakes on yourself and say, hey, I need some help. I need some help. Me personally, I can't lift this by myself. Got the burps. And that's what we do. We got to start reaching out and saying, I can't hold this by myself. And some of us do it through Facebook posts and we'll just give them a little care sign. Fuck that, dude. Fuck your little emojis, man. Fuck your feelings. Call my ass. Just call my ass. Hey, I was thinking about you. You pinged in my brain. Something in my brain told me to call you today. And that's why I'm doing this live this morning, is because we lost one. Us. Us as a human species. We just lost one. And a good one at that. You know, and there we are always talking about, oh man, there shouldn't be no school shootings. Well, what are you willing to change? You know, I don't want to see children get murdered. No one does, but that's us in America on a regular basis. Our schools get shot up, and we got it on a level that brings it more normalcy. You know, we don't want to, we'll blame health issues, but we won't want to turn up any kind of health issue representative. If you're having an health issue right now, mental health issue right now, if you're having a health issue, you know where to go. It's the hospital. If you're having a mental issue, they're going to send you to the psych hospital. And that one's even worse. That's like the loony bin. That's not like I'm talking to. It's like immediate medication, immediate lockdown. And we have horrible systems in place. And we don't have anyone to talk to. And that was the whole point about putting it on Thanksgiving, is that now you got a whole army of saints out there, soldiers that have already seen it. You know, I've already seen Bryce Hanson, my boy, do the unthinkable. And I'm sitting here, shocked at it. You know, I still talk about it all the time. It's like, this is a friend of mine since high school. We both went to championship wrestling. He's a state champion wrestler, bro. State champion wrestler, killed himself. Business owner, father, and he killed himself, dude. And it hurts me. It still hurts me. I still want to make shirts and everything. Just let it fade. The kid that died in Afghanistan, rest in peace to Shane. Shane, what's Shane's last name? Come on, Mark. You know Shane. Shane was in the movie, and Shane was my brother's best friend, and he also died. But since he dies in the military at 22 years old, he's a hero, and he's all over Boulder City. Everybody talks about Shane, Shane this, Shane that. Yeah, Shane, and he does the ultimate sacrifice. Nobody talks about Bryce. Nobody talks about Bryce. Nobody wants to talk about these things, and then they keep happening. You know, if you don't talk about it, it's going to be about it. And that's what we keep doing. We just letting these things keep being about it, keep coming into churches and hurting people and shooting up people and no one's there the wiser. Everybody's worried about the way they posted it. Since 9/11, we've been watching every post, every phone call, making sure there's no terrorist activities, but the terrorism in our brains. We are terrorizing ourselves, thinking the worst is always going to happen. Like I told my friend the other day, that's what's going on. For all of us that are alive that can still do something about it, that's what's going on. We are terrorizing ourselves, right? We are literally telling ourselves the worst things that's ever happened and saying that's the way it's going to be. Like, it's always going to be this way. And I think that's the biggest misnomer and deter of what's going on in mental health, is that we assume that it's always going to be this way. We're going to assume that we're always going to be out of money, out of love, out of hope. And that's what my friend lost. He lost his hope. And when you lose hope, you lose your life. I've been there, dude. I've been there. I was like, what is my life worth without my son? Like, I can't even imagine Sandy Hook or this other elementary school. Can't even name all the elementary schools. It's just fucked up. It's fucked up. And I wake up in the morning and I'm like, how do I get people off that track? How do I get them on this healthy track? How do I get them on this let's talk about it track? And how do we get on this solve it track? And that's what it's about. Fixing topics, blessing up, and getting our minds right, bro. It's been the hardest thing for me to do after I lost my child. And I've been, every morning waking up crying. And yeah, I did want to die. And anybody that's ever been real, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself saying you never been like on that tip where you were like, I can't do it no more. I simply can't do it no more. Call upon a saint, call me. We'll talk about why we do it more. Why do I persist? Why do you keep going on? The sun keeps doing laps. That's what our planet does. It finds way to give life. Out of all the planets out there, don't be fooled by the baby blue skies. There's still stars out there. There's still darkness. A little shine, a little darkness, and my allergies. And that's where I'm at in my brain. Let me get some tissue so I can blow. Join Weed Club, y'all. Join Weed Club. Make a friend. Stop smoking by yourself. You know, stop smoking by yourself. Start getting some friends. Start getting social. Get away from masturbation. It's going to make you feel depressed. Get away from sugar. Your boy Saint. I'm on the case. I set up acknowledgement, accountability. You remember these words? That's what it's been like, you know? I told everybody I would in a whole week of not having sugar, you know? Just like that, just not even having sugar. I showed it this earlier this week, but there it is, dude. The truth shall set you free. Our weakness is exposed. We're all weak in some form or manner. Every one of us gets weak if we have around our children or our loved ones. We have weaknesses, you know? And in those weaknesses, we can find our strengths. It's a trip, but that's where it's at. It's not underneath all your ego and the things you're good at. It's under all the things that you know you're not good at. You know, this mental health game is not an easy game. Someone tells you stop thinking about something negative, pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant. You're going to be like, how am I going to stop thinking about pink elephants? How am I going to stop obsessing when it's just always on the news and there's always a shooting or there's always a suicide? How am I going to pick up my vibration so that this doesn't happen or I don't slip into that area? That's where I'm finding, you know, I'm finding that, you know, fixated people, like fixate on problems and find trouble in every corner of their lives, they're going to manifest that shit. You know, we're going to only look for the things that are missing. Our brains are playing the Highland game. Remember those magazines where it used to be like what's missing in our lives? That's a children's game, and it's really a matching game and an eye game. But that's what we're doing. We're looking at other on social media, looking over at this one and saying, that's not on my list. Looking at this page, this person's married with children. I just lost a child. That should make me feel demoted. I'm going to compare myself to this situation and not know the other situation, you know, and not know that Cristiano Ronaldo just lost his son. That's right. They had twins and the daughter made it and the son didn't. So part of their lives is enriched. Part of their brains is on the, you know, hey, I got my daughter. And then on this other side, hey, I don't have my son. It's so ironic. This is horrible irony that we, you know, sitting there looking at things and go, oh, well, you know, he should have been stronger. Or we need to give teachers guns. We try to fix the topics with the most unhealthy way. Let me go get an abortion. You know, my relationships isn't working out. We're arguing all the time. Let me just go get an abortion. We were blessed with that life. The timing, each other, it was a blessing. And someone on the other side is squandering it, right? I had no idea that that could even happen, right? That my friend could take his life, that this chick could take my child's life, that elementary schools can be shot up. There's a rub. It's rubbing. It's infectious. You know, if you want to have fear and spill it out into the world, it will spill. There's no doubt about it in my mind. It's very infectious. But so is happiness. You know, when we see somebody that's hacked it, like it's not that they didn't lose anyone and they saw the same news, right? But the processing of it, the what's his name? Who's his name? Mr. Rogering of it, and saying, look for the heroes, look for the people that are trying to help. You know, like every time we see a tragedy, we see everybody running in one direction. How about the people that are running in the opposite direction? How about the people that are still standing, still strong, even after a situation happened? I heard the teacher died at the shooting. 2 days later, her husband dies of a broken heart. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. So, in light of things that are getting fucked up and are fucked up and how to get them right and stay right in our minds, this is what I'm talking about. This is that I'm bored at home, but I don't know anybody to talk to. I triple dog dare you to call. I don't know. Is it three? Is three too much? Is three too much? If I asked you to call three people that you haven't talked to in a long time just to check on them, I say it all the time. But these like Boston, the Russian kids that had the bomb at the Boston Marathon, who was checking on him? Who checks on these people? Who checks on the Unabomber? He's in a fucking cave, in a cabin. No one knows what's going on. No one knows what's going on in each other's head. There's a war going on, and we are acting like it's normal. That it's normal to have this many guns, and it's normal to have this many shootings. That's not normal. That's not even close to the normal. We got other people that have other countries. There are people too. They get angry. They get road rage. They lose children. They got suicide rates. But why is our shooting rate atrocious? Why are we so angry that we feel like we need to kill each other and take lives? Instead of giving life and giving life a chance, we just assume that it's always going to be fucked up. And let me bless up on that note. And that's where this stops. Shout out to Frontator. Smell-proof, waterproof, the originators. Don't be fooled by impersonators. Don't be fooled by people that pretend that their lives are okay. Let's talk about it. That's the moment to talk about it. Most people want to just brag about it. They just want to be like, I'm happy because my bills are paid and I have this house and I have this car. But I'm going to ask you, how's your mental health? You know, I got a friend on here, owns a company, successful multimillionaire, but his fear is that he'll lose it again. And it's scary that you can be a father with children and think that you're worth more in your life insurance policy than being in your children's lives. There's no price for it, bro. How much is your rent? Is it worth your mental health? You know, and that's what's going on with people. It's like we get ourselves in situations where we feel like there's no outlets. We get ourselves in situations where we feel that the only outlet is to quit instead of to keeping life and keeping love and keep on going. We do the opposite, bro. We do the loud shit. We do the quit shit. We do the explosion shit. There's no reset button, and that's what we do. We're desperately looking for a reset button that doesn't exist. Or in our minds, I guess. To reset one's mind is interesting to me. This is some very powerful shit. I've been listening to Dr. Joe Forenza. I've been watching videos about grief. It's amazing, but it's a part of life. That everyone has grief. You don't want to watch the TED Talks. You do, but you don't want to watch the TED Talks I'm watching because there's somebody that always going to beat your story. One lady, her whole house burned down with her children and husband in it, and she was the only one to survive. I heard that one of the children took someone's blood, put it on him, and pretended that she was dead so she wouldn't get shot. We should be focused on education, not survival. We should be focused on growth, not death. But those that are worried, those that are sick, or I don't want to call them sick in the head, but how about, if we say imbalanced, that sounds judgmental. How about losing the war? You know, like, can you imagine if Ukraine loses the war, just slowly, then they kind of beat a city, and then they get a little more of the city, and then like half of their country's been ceded over, and then it becomes like West Germany, East Germany. We have been giving up on ourselves, dude. I feel like I'm the only one going live doing this shit. I feel like I'm the only one that's out there going like, yo, this stuff matters, bro. And I've never talked about money on my show. Everybody thinks that that's going to bail them out. There's no amount of money that's going to come save your ass, bro. That's going to bring those children back. Then no amount of money. I was watching it the other day. What was I watching? Your boy Rockefeller was headed to New York. His bag made it, but he didn't. Train was late. Whatever. Whoop de whoop. That train ended up falling, and the world's richest man would have fell in a train wreck. Most people don't know this. You know, like I was watching some really cool shit, but that's what it is. It's the most people don't know what's really going on, and we do. We do know what's going on. We do know what's going on in our brains. We do know dysfunction. We do see hyperactive disorders, and we do give them what's the thing? Adderall. Like, how is meth sprinkled on top of somebody that's already hyper going to fix them? I don't get that. And just because you say it works and you prescribe it to children, now we're here shooting in elementary schools. You don't give people meth, not even something that kind of replicates amphetamines. You give them hope. Like I've been saying, dude, everybody's got a living room, everybody's got a bathroom, but nobody has a zen room. Nobody has a place to run when they got to run from themselves. Nobody has a place to get right. There isn't a welcome reprieve. You go to the cops, they'll arrest you, throw you on the ground, put a knee on your throat, and there's another murder. Our cops are murdering us. So they're supposed to protect us, and they allow children to get shot, but they don't protect us. And I know this sounds like a rant, but mostly aha. There's a dichotomy here over at Saints Addiction, always talking about dichotomy. I am both the creator and the destroyer. I am both the yin and the yang. Not one of us is running around here saintly without an addiction. And for me to come up with that and tell the truth from the start, on my heart, from the start, yo, it was hard. No, I didn't want to talk about my cocaine addiction. No, I didn't want to talk about my prison. But that's what I got to talk about. In fact, I'm going to go back and talk to kids about not going into prison. We got some juvenile offenders, and your boy Saint, first Tuesdays of the month, will start speaking to them. We're doing the shirts right now, Real Talk Radio. You'll hear me on Real Talk Radio. And if you're watching live on YouTube, you'll get to see me speak to these adolescents about the trap, the fucking trap of this system. You don't have the money to pay for yourself. What's the project that's going on right now where they're buying young kids in jail that can't afford bail? Modern day slavery. I'll pay you $300. Give me a human. And how inhuman it is to treat someone that doesn't have money, and the people that don't have money stay in the jail, but the people that do have money get to go free. It's a broken system. We are the largest incarcerated in the world. It's not fixing anything. And we're stuck on it. We're stuck on stupid. And I'm up here going like, nah, man, we could be stuck on reaching out. We could do the three strangers or long time no see calls. I don't even know what to call them. I'm not doing marketing right now. I'm just saying I put people in my top 3. Do you have a top 3? You know what? I'm going to give you the top 3 challenge today. Now, so I came up with the plastic pocket challenge. Every time you see some plastic, just put it in your pocket. Take care of it. If everybody did a pocket of plastic every day, oh, what a Merry Christmas we'd all have. But I'm talking about the 3 call challenge. I tell people, put me in your top 3. I'm not doing so well. After I lost my child, I wasn't doing so well. I'm grateful I'm sober enough to see that I needed help. But what if we're so dark? What if we just want to live in our darkness? Who's going to reach us? Well, if you have a top 3, you will. You know, most of us will do the 1. You know, we'll just do the 1. You got to do the 3 times. That's the challenge. You got to do 3 sets, 3 reps. 3 sets of people to call. You know who to call. You know the person that needs your call. I'm mad at you because you didn't make the fucking call. I didn't make the call. I didn't know to call Joey. I didn't know. You know, and I was hanging out with Bryce. I didn't know. Why didn't I follow up? You know, where's my follow-up calls? Hey, last week was super dope. It's not only in the past. I just want to say, let's keep that going. Is there no one else? Is there no one else that says, hey, I had a feeling. You were pinging in my consciousness. Something told me to call you. We could rationalize it. We don't have to make it so esoteric. You just get your top 3 people that you're worried about. Stop worrying about them and call them. Stop worrying and call. Do that. Do the check-in. Do the brotherly check-in. Yo, bromance. Yo, love you. No homo. Yeah, get the dick out your ass and come say hello. What? What'd you say to me? I love you. And I mean it. Glad I got to tell you why you're alive. Let's hang out soon. Click. Messages, bro. Messages. This is what I'm doing with my message. I just echo it out. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to lose nobody anymore. I'm not going to lose no more Bryces. I'm not going to lose any more Joeys. I'm not in control of it, but I can have some control over who I call and how often I call. And not just the, hey, I need something from you. It's convenient for me. Oh, you got weed? I'll be right over. Click. Don't be the person that does that. That only calls when I think you got wristbands. Or you're throwing a festival, Marky Saint. Man, I must have got up like 20 plus friends requests. Throw a festival, you'll have more friends requests you never know to do. All of them unfriended, unreliable, disappeared. I want to be your business partner. Where are you at, though? You know what it takes to be the business partner? It takes the lows, too. You know what it takes to be the friend? It takes the lows, too. You know, a significant other, whether it be romantic or familiar, do yourself a favor and figure it out. This morning, not tomorrow. No, none of that. Get your top 3 out. And these are the people I want you to call for the next 3 weeks. Once a week for the next 3 weeks. Call that person. That's the 3 times. 3 people, 3 times, once a week. Second week, third week. Then they'll get 3 calls. I didn't say blow up their phone. I didn't say love bomb them. That's excessive. No, I'm saying do the check-in. Do the brotherly check-in. Hey, I was thinking about you. You were? Yeah, you're on my list. Not a lie. I'm looking at this list now. Checked it twice. Want to know if you're being naughty or nice. I hope you're being both. I hope you live a long, happy, lovely life. Love you. Bye. Click. And then they get on their message. They're on their toilet like all of us. Just flipping through our phones, taking a shit and going, that's the message I needed to wake up to this morning. Now they have to obsess on that message. Now they have to honor the energy that you've given them. Everybody's like, I got no money. Give them energy, bro. That's the real currency. You know, we call it, in Burning Man, they call it social currency. That's your social currency. All week long, I showed up at the print shop putting in work. Not getting paid. I don't want to get paid. I want to learn. I want to learn. And I want to learn how to shut up, too. I want to outlearn myself, you know, and outbeat these things called suicide. This is what else am I doing with my life and my intelligence in this platform? You know, what else is there to do but to grow and learn and prosper? Boldly go, you know, and what is it? Live long and prosper. We're supposed to live. You know, abortion's a big issue right now. We're supposed to live. I was looking at the chart. Did I screenshot it? I think I screenshotted it. I'll post it tomorrow, but whoa. Populations all the way down. We got them, right? We got some big populations. Almost 2 billion has gone down now to 1.2 billion. That's a loss of 600,000 lives, all the old people in China, and the life expectancy rate. Do you know what the American life expectancy rate is on average? 76. There, 64. If you're on your phone, you just lost another 5 years. 5 years, 4 months. It is shocking. It is shocking. I'm gonna keep pitching this app. It became the dumbest idea that became the most brilliant idea I've ever heard, and I'll pitch it to you. I'm in Burning Man. I'm in the tent. We all think Elon Musk is gonna show up, right? And the rumor has it he goes with his mom every year. Blah blah blah. It's the business tent. You get to get up and speak in front of everybody. That was fabulous. And they're pitching snorkels for cuddle puddles so you can keep breathing in case you're deep under the cuddle puddles, right? I told you they were ridiculous. I told you. You've been warned. But how about an app that reminds you 5 times a day that you're going to die? Is that what it's going to take? I thought it was crazy. I'm like, nobody's ever getting that app. But one of the Indian philosophies is the reminder of death. The things that we see is the reminder of life and to keep living. I don't want to call it sadistic, but for the longest time, I've been flipping it. Every time somebody tries to call, oh my God, he died. I went, time to live. Give me that energy. Give me that energy right on time. Right on time, brother. Right on time. Right location, right amount of energy, right on time. It's time to live. Time to live. And you could see it as death. Again, the biopic, the myopicness. Allergies. But I'd rather walk outside and have my allergies, put snot on my sleeve than sit there and not do anything. Not call anybody. Put all my time and effort into a Netflix episode that I binge watched the fuck out of, did the whole episode, but didn't call back, didn't reach out, left the messages on red, left myself in danger. As a person that's actually tried committing suicide, let me talk about suicide prevention. Let me talk about your circle of influence. They say you are the amalgamation of the top 5 people you spend your most time with. This is also true for a circle of influence. You want to catch all the people that you know feels good to you, that you know you can count on. I'm sure you already know those friends, but get your top 3 and make it a top 5. The top 3 was for help. That was for altruism. This is for something that you want to give outside of yourself. This wasn't intrinsic. It was altruism. This is that you're more than you. You know, you want instant relief. Come on, give me that energy. Give me that energy. Give me that energy. Give me that energy. To relieve our minds of that kind of chaos, that kind of loud that we all have come suddenly, or we fixate, or we obsess. This is a tough part, especially if you're walking that fucking same snow path. I keep telling everybody, get creative, get a hobby, get off your fucking snow path. It's gonna get inside your head, and then all you're gonna do is stay in here instead of staying out here in the world where there's hiking and there's weather and there's sunshine. We fixate. We hold the screen still. That's what happens. It's a train. Choo choo. Your train is choo choo. Always moving forward, always growing, day after day, year after year. You are growing. I am growing. That's not going to stop. That's part of life. It's incremental. But what isn't incremental is our thoughts coming back. You know, the whole screen. I always show people, but let me show them. Like the train screen that freezes. You know, like you're still moving forward and we're still holding still. Still people, still in our minds, still sitting. That's still. I want to show everybody YouTube live. Come on now. Come on now. Live every morning for 10 years. Holler. But I was told never to stop. You know, for reals. You know, it's the reinforcement of the behavior. When all my friends are like, don't ever stop doing the morning marijuana motivation. Okay. Who would have known? I would use my psych degree like this. Who would have known St. Psychology would have did? Come on up. I don't want us to talk about the worst of the worst. I don't want to always talk about abortion. I don't always want to talk about suicide. I don't always want to talk about children shootings. But what I would like to talk about is mental health. Mental health matters, dude. You don't know the war that someone's going on in their mind. You probably have the war going on in your mind. And it's time to live. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. That clock is ticking and it's not reminding us. We just so. I don't ever do that, by the way, but snap out of it. Like, something needs to snap us. And whether it be an app that tells us, you're going to die one day, you're going to die one day, you're going to die one day. Some people hear it and they're like, no, that's not the message. That just breeds negativity and death. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm with you on that. That's if your brain works that way. But on the other saintly side of that thought, a quick swing is a good, healthy reminder to breathe now. Now, while you still can, love them while you still can. Call them while you still can. Because I know right now, when you're thinking about what I'm thinking about after taking 3 deep breaths, it wasn't about my bills. It wasn't about my bank account. It's about my relationships, family and friends. These people, you people, all you people, us people, we the people. We are the people that can decide this stuff. And not to be on a political rant, but like, dude, see your addiction. If you're gonna sprinkle crack on it, sprinkle a little crack on it. You're sprinkling guns on the situation like it's gonna fix it. It started it, bro. Go get some water. Put your fires out, man. Get your circle of influence. Who's the person you can count on? Don't call the friend that's gonna talk shit. I got friends that are very competitive. They'll just talk shit. Oh, suck it up, pussy. That's horrible advice. And the mental health issue is so big now because the number 3 is suicide. And men are 3 times likely to commit suicide than women. And my buddy just committed suicide while grabbing his woman. My other buddy shot himself in the heart. I think both of them did. I don't want to know the details sometimes. Sometimes we want to glaze over and go back to that place when we're 10 years old or 5 years old and we start to self-survive. We'll block out things. Like, I kind of don't talk about the Ukraine war every day. Like, it's my normal day. It's okay that, people are fucking war in the 21st century, but nothing to see here, folks. I'm going to go bitch about my gas. That's the best thing I can do is bitch. We got to stop fucking bitching. We got to start calling in each other. And that's the top 3 challenge. That's the circle of influence. Get yourself in the wheel. Get in someone else's wheel. If you're really brave and you're advanced, you go seek help. I guess these apps might work, but that's what I want Thanksgiving to do. Have somebody that's gone through it. Have somebody that regrets the abortion. Talk to them for a couple hours, bro. Have somebody that's been shot. What she say? Her 6-year-old was shot 6 times by an AR-15. Like, it's disgusting. So we are in the 21st century and we haven't leveled up. We are living our lives, this is the truth, better than most royalty have ever. Okay? Ever. And like, most royalty for the last centuries, last couple centuries have no fans, no air conditioning. I don't know what to tell you. Like, everybody that doesn't have air con slide to the left, right? And super hot days. Like, these days are about to get here in Vegas. The summer's on it popping. Hot girl summer. Gonna be some hot tempers. We're gonna be angry. It's part of the HALT system. You're gonna have to bring your water with you. Stay hydrated. I got reverse osmosis water systems if you want. Well, you got to buy them, but we got an installer worth the money, especially here in Vegas. Got you. Get yourself a reverse osmosis water system. The plants are just taking off. The proof is in the pudding. You know, the other people with gun control have some control. We in America, we don't want to have any control. We want what we want. We want right now. I want double cheese, double burger, double bacon, bitch, now. And that's what you're gonna get. We get what we want. We get the dichotomy in the thing. So you're gonna get your burger, but you're gonna get your heart attack later. It's that. Um, and you're gonna get your suicide, but you're gonna hurt your friends later. There's that. And family. There's that. So, even at my worst, I want to I'll tell you all, I got 14 minutes for the rest of the show. After I lost my child, I killed myself metaphorically. Like, I let that die there. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how else to explain this, but I was in Fargo, North Dakota, which I've never been in my life. I've only seen the movie Fargo, and I barely remember that. But it was one of those places that looked desolate and desperate and just not the spot. And I was like, this is the kind of spot where someone kills themselves. Rest in peace, guys. And I let the sorrow die there. It was shocking to me. It shocked my mom, it shocked everybody, my friends. The guy that does the morning marijuana motivation kills himself. And I metaphorically killed myself. I think all of us that's ever been through a metamorphosis and have changed, you are no longer a larvae, right? Anybody that's no longer a larvae, comment below and say, been there. Hashtag been there. Been there, bro. And as that dude died, sorrow, guilt, shame, embarrassment, the stuff. On the other side, this guy rose out and said, I'm not that guy anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not that weak anymore. Not that it's just that weak, but I'm not giving up. Sure, I hurt now, but I'm not giving up. I've worked too hard. I got shit to do. My shit's not done. And now everything that you said, universe, to try to kill me has made me stronger. Endure. Maka, endure. That's what the captain of the South Korean prison told me. And while I was whining and bitching and not wanting to be in prison, he told me to endure. This guy can't even say Mark right or speak English, and he came up with the word endure. That's what I'm asking us to do. Endure. And I'm also got to find in myself a second word, empathy. And then the third, because we're doing it in threes, one blood at a time. The third is sacrifice. These children sacrificed their lives. The least we can do is sacrifice some guns. It's always going to be hardest for the people addicted to it. They're convinced the crack is going to make them better. They're convinced that they need the Suboxone. They'll fight you for it. It's almost like tooth and nail. You have to get people in their hearts. That's why I'm on my heart from the start. I don't mean to punch people in the heart, but the motivation comes from within. You're gonna have to jumpstart your heart. Jumpstart your heart. That's dope. But we're gonna have to jumpstart our hearts and start really looking at people differently. I'm looking them in their eyes, in their souls. I'm smiling, saying, I'm not scared. You know, I watch too many History Channel stuff, and man, the guy's telling the story of Civil War when he said that death itself couldn't get enough death. There was that much carnage. There's that much carnage right now. Death itself could not get enough death that night. We've been killing ourselves and warring with ourselves for almost like 5,000 years. The hope is that the 21st century fixes this topic. I thought that by having toilets that flushed and water that can cool and heat and everybody can eat, that we would make it. That we'd make it this far. You know what the sacrifice will be now that we don't have any wheat, right? Or sugar. Trust me, eat less sugar, dude. Just try it for a week. It's been fantastic to me and my waistline and everything and my attitude and just the addiction part of it. Like it just absorbs you. If you've ever been, that's it. Dude, I'd fight you like you took my gun. Try and take my sugar. I would have fought you like you took my gun. That's pretty bad. Like any addiction. That's why I call it Saints addiction. We got to talk about it in a healthy way. We got to talk about suicide in a healthy way. We got to start seeing people in a healthy way. Smile at the motherfucker so he doesn't shoot you later, dude. You know? I thought it was a joke, but I remember the video. I should probably put it below, but it was of, not Dave Chappelle, but there's a video of Dane Cook. Dane Cook. And he's like, remember me, bro? And he would bring a dude a Snickers. And I can actually tell this story, so he didn't come back and shoot him. Like, I was always nice to the worst, right? Think about this. How about when I would always say, what's up to Kurt? And Kurt found the weed, joined Weed Club. Shout out to Kurt, great energy. He was miserable. I'd be like, hey, Kurt. I do it on purpose, almost a little snarky, saying, just because he was just a bum about it, right? Like I'd go down the whole aisle and it was like, make everybody smile. Randy, what's up with it, bro? Homie, dull face. Wide as he could be. This is a true story. Because he would put his belt at the full circumference of his belly. Come to find out, he was under pain. He was in pain. And we don't want to be in pain, so we just like let these people be in pain by themselves. We're just like, whoa, that looks a lot like trouble. And I get it. We can keep running. We can keep extending prison sentences. But somebody has to get reprieve. Somebody's got to heal. That's why I'm throwing the Fifth Element Festival. It's a healing festival. There'll be no synthetics. There'll be no alcohol. It'll be all organic, all healing. That's what I want. I need it. Joey needed it. Bryce needed it. Rashad needed it. Who else do I know? It's fucked up. I don't want to think about it. And then I start to cycle, do things, you know? And that's not what we're doing. We're creating new pathways. We're doing something where we talk to people. Remember the 3 people system? If anybody's watching this long, please hear me now. Every time I do a show, I'd be like, film me now. You know, like the guy that was on in Jamaica when I was in Jamaica. I met a guy named Smokey, and of course I bought my weed from the guy named Smokey. But he kept saying, "Feel me now, hear me now, hear me now." You know, these are the 3 call systems. This is us calling each other and saying, "Hey, you know, just checking in. Thought about you today." So if you want to think about Sandy Hooks and you want to think about this new Texas shooting, I defy you to think of someone to call. Actually, I defy you to think of 3 people to call. And call those 3 people for the next 3 weeks. Not all day, every day. Don't be psycho. Just I'm saying once a week. So it's 3 times 3. Yeah, that's your 9. So anyway, love you. Love your show. I love doing this show. You know, made this show for nothing. Didn't know. I kind of knew same psychology was going to happen. You know, like we started getting kind of deep. Now I'll be doing the Facebook lives, but I'll get back on the Instagram live so I can have people call in and share. That's the biggest thing. Share the healing, you know, share your time, share your resources. This is what it's about, dude. Find your team, find your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Go out there and be like, yo, I feel better that you're part of my tribe. And I feel better when you're around, and now you're in my top three. Or, I mean, circle of influence. The top three, the real three, the one I really want you to have, you're going to build that list yourself today. Yeah, I'm being bossy. Do that shit. Call somebody. I just lost a friend. And can't even imagine. And he was such a great guy. That's the worst part. You know, out of all the burners and this kind of crowd, hardest worker, first one there, last one to leave, always set up everything. I mean, hard fucking worker. He wasn't all dressed up and look at me, I got my glasses, I got two girls on my arm. No, dude, he was doing the I'm behind, making sure that the fucking generator's still working, and, you know, damn. Joey, rest in peace, my friend. And may you call some friends, please. Make this list. And if we all start checking in on each other, right, like in the network, no one gets forgotten on the edges of that web, you know? There's a web that we're creating, and it's in us, you know? And whoever you touch, try to touch them better. And I mean that sexually, metaphorically, and spiritually. Yeah, touch them better. Seriously, you know? I love rubbing shoulders. I love heart to heart hugs, you know? I love eye contact, you know? It's been tremendous for me, you know, to not look away or look at my phone or live on my phone. I didn't even know I was in the grocery store if I was on my phone type shit. Man, it's so much nicer. And see where they're at though, you know? You know, when shooters are shooting in a shopping spot, everybody's looking at each other differently. And then start looking at each other differently. You know when someone's in distress, it's universal. I'm in China and people saw me in distress. They didn't know what I was screaming, but I was just frustrated. I had to throw my shit on the ground, like I'm frustrated. Just making my own shit worse instead of healing myself or healing my soul. I want you to heal your soul, heal yourself. This is intrinsic. This stuff comes from within. Somewhere in here, if you hold your heart, it's beating, you know, and give that life a chance. That's what I'm really saying. Any heartbeat deserves a life a chance. If we're talking about abortion, you know, we're talking about gun control. Just think about something less. That's all. Just think of it less, like a moderation. I won't even say minus. It's like trying to take away someone's cigarette. They're addicted to it. They know it's bad for them, but they will justify you and fist fight you and fucking nicotine fit your ass to get it. Fucking Joey. Anyway, I love you. That's what I'm gonna say after that. I want to tell my friend that I should have called 3 weeks ago for every week for 3 weeks. Do that. Do that. Get yourself some friends. Get yourself some day ones. You're already checking in with them. You're already checking. No old numbers. No old numbers. Anything that you've already called, that's not it. That's not it. I need you to ping to someone. Who is someone I haven't checked in on? It needs to be 3 friend strangers. And call those people today for me, please. I lost a friend. So if you can do that for me, I would be very grateful. Tag them in the 3 below. Please. This is all. Just like, share, subscribe. Oh, my heart from the start, your boy Marky Saints Addiction. This is my compulsion to healthy behavior and healthier thoughts and sharing that with other people and being a better human being and not losing my friends and trying to fix that other topic. So let's all be blessed, not stressed, love our lives, say I love my life daily. Remember, you get an I love my life shirt, goes to Saintsgiving. All of this goes to Saintsgiving. We're giving peace. We're making an app. We're giving food. And most importantly, we're giving love. Peace and love. And as always, Chigapan. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.